Roger at Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you today? I'm doing real good. How about yourself? Uh, yeah, I actually got a little bit of weather today that's not freezing cold and raining. Crazy. Uh, I ran across the video, and I'm going to share it with you. I put a link to it down there. Young guy getting ready to take over a farm from his daddy in a few years. And, and he was doing a breakdown of the farm income. How much money does that farm make? And and he used a lot of averages, which probably tells me he's worse off than what he's letting on. But he used a lot of averages. Uh, but it's not a bad operation. I mean, they got grain storage on site. They've got dryers on site. Things of this nature. So they saved themselves a lot of money by doing stuff like that. But out of over $1 million in sales, and they're doing corn and soybean. Hello. They are, at the end of the day, after expenses, like $239,000 in the red. And that's with everybody on the farm working off the farm for incomes. Yeah. Yeah. and, exactly. So this, and he even says that, how do we deal with operating that far in the red? He says, well, financing and, blah, blah, blah. Draining their retirement investments, all these different things that they're doing to stay on the farm. And you can't, that's like trying to bail out the Titanic, okay, with those kind of numbers. All right? It's just a matter of time for them. And you're seeing that all over the place. You really are. You have the financial ruin of the American grain farmer on the horizon, along with things like the fact that U.S. Geological is looking at our aquifers saying, whoa, we got to stop this. We are draining them. So water's going to become, within the next 20 to 30 years, going to be a big issue. Big issue. Not sustainable, folks. It's just not sustainable. And that's going to affect, even if you're living in the city, that's going to affect you. When you go into those grocery stores, you're going to have a problem. Seriously. Because when you start losing massive production of soybean and corn, you're in a boatload of trouble as far as what's going to be sitting there on them shelves when you walk in that store. So here again, the warning's up. If you think you want a homestead, you better get busy. Okay, better get busy. At one point in the kid's video, though, I thought he's going to catch on because they're no-till right now, so they're not tilling the ground, which is better. But still, he kept talking about needing to do things different. I'm thinking, come on, you're about there, son. But I don't know at that kind of loss per year that they would ever really be able to make the transition before they go belly up. Because it takes quite a while to get that land, that dirt back as soil and move forward. But it's not like they haven't been warned, okay? Regenerative agriculture has been going on in the cattle industry for years, decades. And basically because cattlemen learned, if I do it this way, my cows will put on more pounds off of that acreage than they would otherwise. So it was, how do you get weight on your cows quick? Regenerative agriculture. Take care of the soil, diversify your pastures, and your cows will put on weight like a son of a gun. So for cattlemen, that was an easy transition, okay? These row croppers are scared to death of it. It goes against everything they've been taught everything that they've been doing for decades. Okay? And I can see where that would cause you to go, oh, wait a minute. Okay? I'm also going to provide a link to a website. Now, right now, about the only thing they're showing on their website is these push planter for planting those cardboard boxed plants. But these guys are coming up with some interesting stuff. One of them that they're coming out with, and you probably need to email them to get the information on it because it's not on their webpage. One of the things is a power Broadfork. Yeah. You can either run it behind one of those little portable tractor BCU units, or they have one that they can set up for a 3-point tractor. And it's a Broadfork. Yeah, does a great job. Just fluffs the soil up, aerates the soil deep enough to where you can come in and put down a compost or whatever you're bedding in and go for it, They also had another tool out there for taking up, let's say when you're getting ready to replant again, you can run this thing just push it along. I think it works off of a cordless drill. And it's just got some tines that work the soil. Instead of totally turning the soil, it just works the soil and gets the plant and the roots up out of the soil. So, kind of neat things that they're starting to engineer for regenerative agriculture. They're beginning to see that this is going to be the wave of the future. And this company, it's out of Australia, I think. But they're starting to manufacture tools for small operations and larger, but mainly for small operations, for the, like the urban garden settings and things of this nature. So it'd be I'll put a link to that down there too. Be worth looking into, because the equipment was kind of neat. Especially a power Broadfork. You put that on behind a tractor if you got larger acreage to do, and you could get out there and put a nice garden in without totally killing everything in your soil by tilling it. Neat. Okay, that's really neat. And it'll even work on unturned soil. So yeah, kind of interesting the things are coming up with. That one company here in Tennessee is working on a tiller-like drill to plant through residue, things like this. So it didn't take them long before they said, hey, we got a market here, and it's going to be a growing market. Let's get busy. So you're going to see more and more of these kind of tools coming on the markets to help you out in your home garden or if you're planting acres. So yeah, kind of a bright light on the horizon. But this kid he did a good video. It's fairly long, but follow it out to the end, and you'll see where he's like, we need to fix this. We really need to fix this. And yeah, that's where we're at with agriculture today. Thank gosh, I prefer cattle. I really do. Gardening's fun, but cattle, as far as making dollars and cents, yeah, I like the idea of cattle. Gives you more flexibility in what you can do, And plus they're fun. They're entertaining. Kind of like chickens. I love chicken. They're cool. But cattle are the same way. They're just like they become pets, Yes, they got to have the bad day. I understand all that. But they're kind of like pets when they're on the farm. But yeah, it's kind of a sad state of affairs to listen to this kid go over those finances. Not surprising when you look at what's going on these modern agricultural operations and things that are going on with the water cycle and the aquifers, how much they're being drained. And I know cities drain a fair amount of these things. I mean, I lived in Vegas, for heaven's sakes. Got 2 million people out there sucking a lake dry. Colorado can't keep up with the demand. Sooner or later, it's going to be an issue for them. You got San Francisco and Los Angeles and all that draining. I think they probably use more of the runoff reservoirs, but they're using a lot of water. But agriculture is also using a lot of water, and we need to start thinking about Mother Earth here just a little bit. Okay? You just don't go out in the middle of the desert and find many vineyards. Okay? Because you're going to have a massive input of water to grow grapes in the desert. Sorry, just the nature of the beast. That's like saying I want to start growing, palm trees in the upper peninsula of Michigan. And it's going to take some inputs like one heck of a greenhouse, because otherwise they will not survive. We've got to start, and here I go back to what I've said for years. And this would apply worldwide, okay? They've got foods in Africa that grow well in the African climate. Instead, we go over there trying to teach them how to grow soybean and corn, which does not grow well in African climate. Grow local. What grows in your area, What does well without a bunch of inputs and nonsense to keep it alive? Because, that's the way you grow naturally. The natural foods that grow for a local area, and you use it to feed the local people. That's when agriculture works. Back in the late 1800s, that's how agriculture worked. It was very successful. Local farmers provided good, wholesome, local grown food. They weren't trying to grow, coconut palm trees in Kansas. You grew what grew well in your climate and your soil. That's nature's way. We need to get back to it, because eventually our little lives may depend upon it. We need to start thinking straight, start working with nature instead of trying to show it how much smarter we are than Mother Nature. It's not nice to fool with Mother Nature. She always wins. Always. Even if that means treating us like a bad pathogen up on the surface of the place and just get rid of us. We wouldn't be the first breed to go. So, let's think about it a little bit. Hope this finds you real well. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you have a super week. But do check out that kid's video especially. Wow. Man. It's kind of sad that a young guy like that's he tried to put a positive spin on it, but he can see the handwriting on the wall. As young as he is, you'd think his daddy would catch on. But it's time to start working with nature. Time to grow local. Time to buy our food local. And you'd be surprised how well you'll end up eating. Yeah. Don't do that. Keep depending on those grocery stores. You may find out just how tough it is to put food on the table. Y'all have a good day. Keep smiling. And hope this finds you well. Talk to you soon.